Welcome back to the channel, and today is Turbo Day. So, as the title suggests, the turbo in the TT has gone boom already. What you haven't seen is I took it on a little test track day. I didn't really have time to film it. It was all a bit last minute, and I just about got the car in the trailer and got to the track and generally had a good time, except I probably only got about 10 laps because the turbo exploded. Well, it didn't explode, but it was crapping oil out of it into the charge side and then just blowing smoke out of the exhaust because it was filling the cylinders with lovely fresh new oil. So I've got a filthy car at the back. The marshals told me I couldn't go anymore because they were pretty scared that I was going to drop all the oil all over the track and ruin it for everyone else. And so now I've got the car back on the driveway. It was a bit of an effort to get it back on the driveway here. We had to push it. And I've got to try and now get the turbo out so we can take it off to get it, well, reconditioned. But I think at the same time, we should probably give it a little bit more juice. Like just a small amount. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, as usual. And maybe I'll take what you say into account. I'm not going to go crazy, but maybe we'll give it a little bit more. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to try and show you what's happening in here. And yes, we are working inside the trailer because I really can't be bothered to unload it. Plus I have no space, and if you can see out there, the fleet is lined up and my other half gets annoyed if I use the whole garage, the whole driveway. So I have to leave her a space. So we'll work inside the trailer to make most space, make use of that. You know what I mean? Make best use of the space. In here, so this is what we had apart at the weekend. So we've got and I've already started now. I've taken the charge pipe off that goes there. That is here in a nice bucket thing because it's full of oil all in here. You can see it there. That is not good in your air intake system. Well, I've got to take a load more of this apart because the oil will have been forced all the way through that and into the intercooler, which is in here. We have to take that off as well. Exciting, but for the moment we need to get the turbo off. So there's the top of the turbo, there's the outlet pipe, and I'm going to take a few more pieces off here, and hopefully I can get enough space. We'll take the strut brace off there and maybe some of the bottom of the windshield here, and hopefully I can get the turbo from the top without having to like try and get in from below, or it's going to be a pain. So hopefully if I take enough of this apart, we can get in and get it out. So let me know, like I said, let me know down below whether you think we should go for just a rebuild, you know, just leave it as it is, or maybe we should go for something a bit more fancy. But then I might have to do more things on the engine. I don't know if I want to do that yet. Anyway, let me know what you think. Here goes. Okay, here's a quick update. We've taken a bunch of stuff apart, but I still can't easily get to the turbo. As you can see, just there with my lights on, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the way here. It's the heat core, I think this is. I can't even feel the bolts, so I can't even easily get into it to take it out. So what we've done is we've resorted to watching other people's YouTube videos on how to take this out. Okay, so we've taken some more stuff apart, and these are the 3 bolts we have to get. Those 3 on the exhaust manifold down there. Now, they won't come out, but we don't want to force them because we don't want to break the studs off. So, this is what we're going to do. Always have a fire extinguisher to hand, just in case. And in fact, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove these coil pack electrics just to the side so that we don't get any toasty going on anything that we shouldn't do. So like I said, the problem is under here, and we have to go round the back here and take the turbo. Oh, the turbo's not. Where's that gone then? Okay, yeah, I'm pulling your leg. I'm actually filming this bit after I've taken the turbo out. It was a total nightmare, and to be honest, I had some friends here helping me get it out, and I just wanted to get the thing out of the car and get it off to in the rebuild queue, because that takes 2 weeks for most people, and I want to do another track day sometime this year, hopefully. So I just wanted to get it out, but I'm going to show you a little bit about what we had to go through to get that thing out of there. It was a total nightmare. Right, this is the turbo, and I mean, you can probably see from this here how shiny and oily this is all over here. What's this? Yeah, it's a bit minging, to be honest. But this was a complete nightmare to get out. So if I will take it back over to the car, and I shall show you how it fits. That's pretty heavy for a small turbo. So, for those of you that want to know, this is a K04 turbo, and it fits roughly like that, but obviously down in the back of the engine there. And so these bolts, this is the exhaust manifold, goes into here, so out of the engine and in here to drive the turbine in there. And these bolts are Torx, which are a complete nightmare because it's so easy to round them off, and the angle that you have to get to, you either hit this or the exhaust manifold or something, and you really have to make sure that you get those out, because you don't want to be drilling these or pulling this. As you can see, there's a little insert there. You don't want to be messing with that and give yourself a massive headache. So what I suggest with these, use a impact gun, but very gently, and do like just a little pulse on the trigger. Pop, pop. Do it up, undo it, do it up, undo it. I know that seems counterintuitive, but the act of going clockwise will also help break the thread, and we just did that a few times and it actually came really easily. That was after I'd wrestled with them for hours with a manual wrench. After that, it gets a nightmare, because you've got the downpipe bolts here, and if you can see these, so there's the wastegate and the turbine, and these 3 bolts on this side go to the exhaust downpipe. Now, 2 of them, this one and this one, you can get to if you've got a half moon spanner. This one, however, this one is wheels off, my friends. You have to take this wheel off. It's the only way you can get up inside on the bottom of the engine to get to this bolt, and even then with the wheel off, it's a complete nightmare. It took 2 of us about an hour just to get 1 bolt, and you can probably see there's a bit of rust and crap on there, which made it nice and easy. Just want to show you these. This is what you need to get these bolts here, because you have to sort of wiggle it on and clear the exhaust manifold that would be in the way here, but that little curve just helps you get those. And I think it was a 17. It was a 17 or a 15. Anyway, they're all the same. So I had to go and buy a whole set of those just to get like 2 bolts, obviously. And then once you've done that and you think you're nearly there, well, you're not, because you've got to get these oil and coolant in and out lines off. And a couple of things to note: this one you cannot get until you release all the other brackets, and then it will give you just enough room to wiggle the turbo, like to roll the turbo away without damaging this line, and you should be able to get onto this one. This one you can get quite easily. If I roll it over, there's another one on the underside here. This one here that you can also get reasonably easily if you've got small hands. You need to get this bolt as well. This is actually sits in a little bracket mount right on the bottom. This is now the bottom of the turbo, through the wheel arch. That's the way to get that one. That was quite easy. So once you've got that far and you think you're there again, like I did, like so many times, this one is a complete nightmare because it is against the engine. So the engine sits right here. Even rolling it away, you can't get enough clearance to get in here. That is quite a big hex key, you know, and with a wrench you're out here and the engine's like there. So there's just no way you can do it. In the end, what I had to do was take it off at the other end in the back of the engine, and then that gave me just enough clearance to roll this turbo like this so that I could get this side off. And something to watch out for is there is some welded on brackets. So you can see here, this is the hole. So there's a welded little bracket here that holds this in place. So you need to get that as well. And yeah, then it just comes out, easy peasy. So I'm pretty sure the wind and well, the wind's back. I'm pretty sure the rain's coming, so we better get on filming this. I want to show you a little bit more about all the pieces that we got out and how I got to them all. So you can just see what you're in for, which is a lot. But hopefully this will help you a little bit, because I was making it up as I go along. There's not that many videos about how to do this, and the guys that had shown it didn't really show all the bolts and how to get to all of them, and they just say, look, I've got the turbo out, whee! So anyway, I'm just gonna get some cardboard because all this stuff's oily and I don't want to put it on the driveway. Just took a little break there, got myself a delicious coffee. I'll show you it first. Look at that, beautiful. Right, anyway, better get on with this. So I'm going to show you the things that we took out, and yeah, there's a lot. So as you can see, I've kept it all neatly together. Unlike me, I didn't label any of these, which is going to be exciting, but hopefully we can work out what's what. As you can see, most of them have a combination of Loctite and major corrosion, which is why they were a nightmare. These are those top Torx bolts I was talking about, and you can see probably just about the shiny bit there where they started to round off. So we're going to get some new ones of those. These have a special name that I can't remember, but these are the bolts for the oil. These two for the oil. Put them here so you can see them. These are for the oil feed and return, and this is for the coolant feed and return. And they all have a little O-ring that we'll replace. So we'll replace all the O-rings and things while we're in there, and we'll clean all this up in the parts washer before any of it goes back. As you can see, I think this is a number 8mm hex in the top of those. Loads of screws and bolts and things. There's the nuts from the other side of the exhaust. I got to put all that back. Anyway, that's not that interesting. You can see what I did here was I took a whole bunch of stuff out of the front of the engine, because right down there, I don't know if you can see that, probably not. Let me see if I can take you in here. There we go. So right down there, this one here is the other end of that line that I couldn't get, and I thought I could take it off here and go around there and we'd be alright, and as it turns out, that's not the line that I needed at all. So I took a bunch of stuff out here that I didn't need to. So yeah. Anyway, this is the fun stuff here. This needs sorting out. This had to come off, but this is really greasy. It's got to get cleaned. And then there's loads of these pipes. Yes. This is my charge pipe, and this is alley, but you can see oil there. So this hasn't really stuck to it, but there is oil in it, so this all got to get cleaned. This is the boost control valve. So actually this at one point went on there, and look, you can see this is full of oil. And this is how we actually worked out. It's not doing it now, but anyway, it's full of oil. This is how we worked out that it was the turbo, because when we took this off, it was spitting oil at me when the car was running. Yes, the intake. So this is the turbo inlet, and it's also full of grease and crap. So again, got to get washed. Got some brackets, another bracket, heat shield. This is the auxiliary water pump we had to take off. There we go. You can see the oil running in there. Huh. Now it started to leak, look. There shouldn't be oil in that. Gaskets that we'll replace. Looks like this one was about to give up anyway. Look at it. Yes. That was definitely dead, wasn't it, that one? Ignore that. Plastic crap. This is all the oil that's come out of those parts that was in bits that shouldn't have oil in it. So, next job is to clean all of this before it can go back, and also all down in the engine here. And if you can see, but this is all my brake cylinders covered in oil, the bottom of the crankcase, this whole area got sprayed with oil out of the turbo. So there's a lot of work to do. Anyway, first things first, we've got this out, and this is going to go and get rebuilt, and we'll make another video showing you where that goes, and hopefully we'll show you a little bit about how they do it. But yeah, we're going to go for the stock turbo. I don't think there's anything drastically wrong with it. The seal's just gone, but they'll tidy this up and recondition it and give it a little bit more boost at the same time, so that'll be quite nice. Okay, anyway, you know we've got the turbo out now, so that's done. I mean, I can't really show you that. I will show you in more detail when we put it back in. But next, this whole bumper's got to come off because I need to clean all these charge pipes. So this is one that goes down. I've got a centre mount intercooler, and no, you probably can't see, but this has got oil in it, I'm sure. Anyway, that will definitely have oil, but the intercooler, which is in here, you can't see it, it's in there, that's almost certainly going to have oil in it because it was making its way from the turbo around that aluminium charge pipe down here, definitely through the intercooler, and it was definitely getting back up this side because there was definitely oil going in through the intake manifold, and that's how we have all that black smoke and crap at the back. So next thing, we're going to get all this off. I think I got to jack the car up again. Anyway, let's get on with it. Pain, even if you know what you're looking for, which I normally don't. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, with all these brakes and things, I'm pretty sure that this has been used on a track before. I don't know if you can see in here. This tells me it has. I mean, who else writes the torque values for all the bolts on the inside of here on the inner wheel arch? Unless you're taking it on the track. But we can't complain. We got some awesome brakes. I mean, these things are savage. I'll take you on a track day and try and describe them to you, but they are massive 340 millimeter diameter brakes with 8-pot calipers. We've also got some, can't see, they're a bit filthy, this whole thing needs a clean, but these are Bilstein adjustable ride height shocks, coilovers front and rear, which is really good. But for now, let's sort out this intercooler and turbo. So we've got to get a bunch of bolts off on the inside cover here. There's a bolt that's sort of here, there's a couple of bolts along the front of the bonnet, and then all the same on the other side, and a couple of screws underneath, and that should be it. I just thought I'd share this. This is what happens when you buy old cars. So we're taking this flimsy plastic liner out. Oh, I must have missed a screw. Anyway, and let me get a light and you can see. Look what we found here. I could grow plants in here, look. absolutely loads of it. No wonder this is all rusting down here. So we'll have to clean that out. But not very easy to show it, but yeah, there's a lot of crap in there. And here she is, the intercooler that's full of crap. Oh, this has taken a bit of a beating. And it's actually not very big, but we'll give it a clean out anyway and see what the condition is like inside. Hopefully we haven't got to change things, but oil cooler can probably go either side here. I'm thinking maybe there in this gap, if we can mount it nicely. But all these pipes here, so this is the cold air side of the intercooler and this is the hot input side from the turbo. I'm sure all of this is going to be full with oil and this is going to take quite some cleaning to sort out. And this is why we're taking it off. There's some oil there, which means it's certainly all down in the pipe. Okay, I just quickly whipped out to get a new battery to show you this. Oh, let me get the torch. That is the oil sitting in my air intake and some that fell on the floor. So it's a good job we're doing this. And it's a good job we've got a parts washer. I think that whole intercooler will fit into, so we can wash out the inside. And now, just to make things exciting, here comes the rain. And my gazebo that I would normally put up over here is still in the back garden because, well, I don't know when you'll see this project, but when I'm filming it right now, it's still protecting most of the stuff that came out of the garage. So, it's going to get wet for a minute. I'm stranded in the garage because it's absolutely crapping it down. I was going to swear then, but I think that means YouTube will get annoyed with me, so yeah, I've got everything in that I need to. All the pipes and things are here. I brought the garage door down a little bit, but I probably need to get that bonnet down, I think it's time to watch the Formula 1, don't you? Come back to this later. Anyway, you know the drill. If this is the sort of thing that you like to see, not this weather obviously, but working on cars, turning them into track day projects, and hopefully I'll have a video of actually taking it on track to share with you soon. If this is the sort of thing that you want to see more of, then you know what to do. Hit the like button below and subscribe below that. I really appreciate it. It really helps me to keep making these videos. I don't have any sponsors or anything like all those big wig YouTubers. And, the rain's stopping a little bit, so I'm going to head inside. See you next time. Soap. There's that. Okay, it's a couple of days later. The turbo's out of the TT, and it's time for me to do the shifty shuffle with all the cars. Yep, somehow I've got to get that Defender out of there. And this one doesn't move. I don't think we can do it because of that lamppost. It's disappointing. Okay, the original plan of taking the Defender isn't going to work because I'm blocked in. So it's going to have to be get him in the BM. Yeah, that's the plan. Now's the time to tell me what you think I should do with it. Should we ask them just to put it back to stock, make it work, put it back in the car, or should we perhaps give it a little bit more? Not crazy, but just a bit. So the TT has, or that engine specifically, that Mark 1 TT has forged internals, which is pretty good for doing this kind of thing, and it means that we can, you know, get a lot more horsepower than if they weren't already forged before we had to start messing around on the inside. And I don't really want to do that. I'm not currently up for taking the whole engine out and doing a rebuild on it, although there was a chap at the track the other weekend, and the bit that I didn't film, there was a guy there who had a full uprated forged internals stock setup that we could have had. So if he comes back and gives me a good offer, maybe we'll take it. So let me know in the comments below what you think we should do with the turbo. I'm on my way there now. It's Turbo Dynamics in Christchurch, so they're a nationally known, really, they know their stuff when it comes to turbos. And actually there's a couple of shops around here that know that, which is surprising because down in Poole there's not normally any. And yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, we just arrived at Silver Wheels here. They're the experts around me locally, South Coast, if you want to get your wheels sorted out. So I'm going to wheel them inside. I'm not allowed to film inside the buildings, but yeah, we'll whip them out, and I'll obviously pick up with you a bit later once we've got them done and you can see the final finish. Okay, we're here on a horrible wet morning. We've dropped off the wheels and now it's time for the turbo to head into the shop. Okay, so I've pulled up the road here just to eat my cheeky treat. And just thought I'd tell you a bit more. So Turbo Dynamics are one of the best, I think I've already said, nationally at turbos, hybrid turbos, rebuilding, getting more performance out of them, that kind of thing. And had a little chat with the guy. I didn't want to like film and walk in and say, hey, talk on YouTube, you know, straight off the bat. So I had a chat with the guy about what we can do, and they're going to strip it down, clean it up, and have a look and see, you know, are my internals in a reasonable condition? Can they work with it? What are the options? And then they'll drop me a message and we can go from there. But I had a chat with him also about filming and things, so hopefully one of their guys will be able to explain a bit more than I can about what they're going to do with the turbo, or what they've done with the turbo, because this will be later when I pick it up again, what they've done with it, how it's going to be better. I said, I'm pretty sure you're all going to tell me to get more horsepower, so I said, what can we do? What's the plan? I don't want to go crazy if we do that. I think I've already said that. I don't want to go mental. I'm not up for changing the whole internals of the engine. That's just too much work for now. But, you know, what can we get with just changing the turbo and maybe adding that oil cooler I was talking about? You know, what are the possibilities? Have a bit more fun. So anyway, that's probably enough for this video. I've shown you a bit about taking the turbo out. We've dropped it off. We dropped off those wheels as well, so those spare wheels will be a lovely anthracite grey colour from Silver Wheels in a week or so's time. And the next video that you see on the Track TT project is going to be getting all of that back in. Hopefully we'll have got the oil cooler stuff. I'm going to try and fit all of that. We're going to have to make up some custom brackets, and we'll get good old Chris next door to weld those up for me. So stay tuned, and you know, like and subscribe, do all those kind of things, and we'll see you in the next video. You can see the filthiness. I could probably write in this. Yeah, I can. Look at that.